Well, good morning, everybody. Long overdue. Today is Wednesday. We are here in the beautiful city of Mount Dora, very small city. But today it is going to be an interesting video because last night there was a city council meeting and I got more out of it than I expected. And it turns out towards the end there's more going on than I thought. Now, today this video is going to be all about that. It's going to be all about the city council meeting. First of all, I want to say I really appreciate all the city council members. I appreciate all the city officials. I mean, they go through a lot of stuff because, oh my goodness. Well, actually, I don't even have my, is it? Because, oh my goodness. Is there a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes? And honestly, I feel like it's just completely taken advantage of. Nobody really cares. That's the worst part, is because they're running a city for the people, but the people don't care until it affects them, and then they blame the city. But it was their fault to begin with. They didn't never advocated for themselves. And the city can't advocate for you if the city doesn't know what you want. So that part I want to get to a little bit, but this is what we're going to be talking about today. Today we're going to be talking about one, how it was when I first got there, what information I literally overheard, and two, the annexation of Round Lake Charter School from the county to Mount Dora. Without further ado, let's get into it. So as soon as I went inside the city hall meeting, first we were met with beautiful singers. It was pretty cool, like Christmas carols type stuff. They sang the jingle bells. Next, the recent damages in Mount Dora, they estimate $10 to $12 million total for all the damages across the city. Now, to start with what I overheard. Now, I went there with a purpose. I went there to propose an idea to the city council of a conditional annexation of Round Lake Charter School off of SR 46 and a Wolf Branch and on Round Lake Road, a conditional annexation of the school into the city. Now, the annexation is voluntary, so they're voluntarily annexing into the city. But while I was there waiting, there were two gentlemen right behind me. They sat behind me. Great. Then they started talking. Okay, great. But then they were talking about annexation. They were talking about how it would actually benefit the city and not really them. And so I overheard. I was thinking, what a funny thing if it happened to be the Round Lake Charter School representatives. So I heard even more. And they were talking about how they didn't even care to be annexed. So, okay, great. And they were talking about some disputes, some businesses. I was like, okay, probably not the school. But then some gentleman was presenting a presentation to the city council. The screens were on. I got the opportunity to look over at the screen, and the person was behind me, and I just glanced at their badge that they were wearing. Round Lake Charter School. Okay, great. But who is it? Todd Roman, the principal of Round Lake Charter School, the person who gave me all the information, the statistics, the numbers of that I used for my proposal. I was like, wow, what a turn of events. And so I was thinking, but why didn't he show up to the Planning and Zoning Commission uh, to represent the school and the annexation request? Did they ever even intend to show up? That's a good question to ask. Did Round Lake Charter School ever intend to show up to that Planning and Zoning Commission? I mean, the Planning and Zoning Commission definitely felt like they were being taken advantage of, and I absolutely agree. And I think that is exactly the case because it only benefits Round Lake Charter School. If anything, it's a disadvantage for the city. But we'll get into that in a second. I'm gonna literally read to you the proposal that I had for Round Lake, not Round Lake, the city council on the conditional annexation of Round Lake Charter School. So, I want to read you some quotes that I got from the actual Round Lake Charter School people. Okay, so I'm gonna read to you what they had to say. So they had to say, okay, so they think there's more in it for the city than the school. We'll get into that. And they think there's more in it for the city, not the school, and that they have no plans for the annexation. What a way, huh? Growing without growing. Okay, so here's the proposal that I had for them. Ready? Ready? This is presenter me. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'd like to provide an actionable plan to address traffic and safety at Round Lake Charter School. If the Council decides to approve the annexation request, I recommend making approval conditional on the school dedicating a portion of its property for an internal feeder road that connects directly to the car rider loop. This is a legal, cost-effective, and safety-focused solution to improve traffic flow and protect students around the campus. The problem is that every day during drop-off and dismissal, cars spill onto Round Lake Road because the school lacks sufficient internal queue space. According to Principal Todd Roman, he was the person there behind me, with 1,284 students enrolled, only 12 walk or bike daily, meaning 99% rely on vehicles. This creates severe backups into active travel lanes, unsafe drop-offs on the road shoulder, higher risk for students, walkers, and bikers, daily use of a police officer, and to direct traffic, drawing resources from potential priorities. With continued development and school growth, this problem is expected to increase. Now, I always want to give the problem with a solution. So, I said the solution: conditional annexation with a feeder road. Round Lake Charter School will eventually be annexed into Mount Dora as utilities expand and development continues. This allows the city to require meaningful traffic mitigation before annexation is approved. My proposal is that the school dedicates a strip of property for an internal feeder road. The feeder road connects directly to the existing car rider loop. All queuing moves off Round Lake Road and onto school property. The design can be modeled in technical terms as a left opening parabola. Cost sharing can be negotiated up front, ensuring timely and fair completion without unnecessary delays or burdens on either party. The potential benefits for the school: potential long-term savings by transitioning to Mount Dora's municipal utility system during or after annexation, faster permitting and coordinated planning support for future expansions, a safer, more organized traffic system for students and families, which was the most important. This creates a mutually beneficial agreement supporting public safety and responsible growth. In short, this annexation condition approach provides a realistic, enforceable solution to traffic and safety concerns. As recognized by Police Chief Gibson, he was also there, it protects students, restores police resources, and organizes traffic efficiently. I respectfully urge the Council to consider this conditional annexation, which ensures student safety, improves traffic flow, and positions Mount Dora for a responsible, organized growth. Thank you for your time. And that is the proposal that I presented to the city. Now, I will say, I had some Florida statutes. I let them know that I have Florida statutes that support, and any questions that they had, I had them prepared and answered for them. But why? Why do I want to do this? Well, it's because it's either this, which I came up with, or they just turn round. Now, listen. Or they turn Round Lake Road into a 4-lane road. Do you understand what I just told you? A 4-lane road. Now, there was other, but a 4-lane road. A 4-lane road. Round Lake Road. A 2-lane. That way, north, south, that's it. Into a 4-lane road. How is that gonna look like? Mind you, Round Lake Road is a direct connect to all the other, and I told one of the council members afterwards, a great gentleman, by the way, that it's a direct connect to all the smaller roads, the residential roads, the small residential roads. Imagine you widen that gap. Oh, all that traffic right through all the homes. It's like having a house right smack dab on the side of 441. For all you local folk, 4-lane road, and you think that would be better than a conditional annexation. First of all, I made it clear, I made it known, the Round Lake Charter School will be annexed into Mount Dora eventually. It's inevitable. It's going to happen as they grow. Why can't we get ahead of this, solve this issue before it ever happens? Round Lake Road doesn't need to be changed into a 4-lane road. It doesn't. That's a mini highway. Round Lake Road does not need to be constructed into a 4-lane road. It's a band-aid on a bullet hole. What it needs to do, what needs to happen is that Round Lake Road needs to use they have a major empty grass portion of their land directly next to the car rider loop. What they need to do is construct a left opening parabola looking at the school, like at the front, a left opening parabola. All the cars go in, they enter the feeder road, boom. They all stack there and off of Round Lake Road. But instead, a 4-lane road is their best bet. My option will be a lot cheaper, saves money in the long run, saves the city safety concerns, it saves the school safety concerns. It also benefits the school for the annexation because while the principal says, and I quote, there's more in it for the city than there is for the school, which is a really big lie because it also tells you where their mindset is, how they're viewing this, how they're seeing this annexation. It'll benefit you, sir. It'll benefit the school. Why? Because right now the school is in a sewer system. It's their own, their personal, individual. And it's also called a package plan is what it is. And right now they're reaching capacity. They're pretty much at capacity. The school's growing. They're going to need more. There's so many sewage coming in. They need to switch off of their own because then the majority of their land will be an entire sewage plant. So their best bet is to go into the city system. Why is this such a big deal? Because the city can't handle anymore. The city is literally at capacity. The city cannot withstand any more utility support to anyone else. The city can't. I mean, it's not like the people behind the doors are like, we don't want to support you. No, it's literally the infrastructure cannot withstand any more development. It can't. So if the Round Lake Charter School is going to be annexed into the city and switch from personal utilities to city utilities, it is going to benefit the school, not the city. The city will actually have to spend more money. The city would actually have to build more plans. The city would have to develop their infrastructure further than what it already is. Mind you, they have a lot more things to worry about. It'll benefit the school. And the city has to deal with the traffic problems. Yes, the road is county. Yes, land near there is all county. But guess what? It's not the county who's directing the traffic. It's not the school who's directing the traffic. They legally can't. It's the city. A uniformed police officer that is on the city payroll. It is the city. So whether they actually said it's a county road. Yeah, but the city is managing the traffic. I want to make that very clear. So I really, really respectfully advise that the city council members look into this even deeper. Yes, they have a lot bigger problems to worry about, definitely, but this is very important. I mean, you're fighting a big war. This is a small battle, and every piece of land counts. This is a battle you can win. You need wins in your pocket. This is a win. And guess what? It'll be made more favorable via the people. Why? Because that you don't have to just stop there. You could move the sidewalk that's directly next to the road, which is still dangerous because now cars are stacking up on the grass, and I have all the pictures to show for it. Now the cars are stacking up on the grass. You can move the sidewalk off of the side of the road and move it back onto the campus And since you will be using the rest of the land for the internal feeder road, you could just directly connect the internal school campus sidewalk to the development. Guess what? The students, because it's 12 students right now who walk in or bike, their lives still matter. Their safety is still vital, right? Even if it was one person who would walk, I would change the entire thing. That one student matters. So there's a lot of potential that they could do, and they made it clear that they understand safety is crucial. But how their response was, it'll get done eventually, but we'll just move on with the annexation as is. Now, I respect those people. I don't respect that answer because it lacks concern. So, I will say the principal doesn't know what he wants to do with the school. He doesn't really care about the annexation. He has no further plans of any of it. And the council is just blindly annexing the school, even though they have a utility issue, even though they have an infrastructure issue, even though they're going to spend $10 to $12 million across the city fixing all of the damages from the recent storm, October 26th to the 27th, that recent storm. Even though they're being attacked by the county, they're like, yeah, let's take on another thing. Round Lake Charter School isn't a problem, but they could shift it into their favor. It's going to be something that's leeching on the utility system, which is going to cause some issues for the infrastructure. It's wild. You think certain things aren't happening in the discussions with the councils, but it is literally what you're thinking. It's quite literally like, wow, okay, that's, I guess we're just bootstrapping this one, huh? But no, that's I highly recommend. I highly whatever else I could say highly. So that is what's going on with the Round Lake Charter School. That was my proposal. I want to know what you guys think, your personal opinions, what you guys, of course, what you guys think, how you guys view it, what the city should do, what the people should do, what the school should do. If it's a good idea of what I proposed, if it's a bad idea, I mean, I personally think it is the best option rather than turning Round Lake Road into a 4-lane road. Might as well call it Round Lake Highway at that point. It'll just be even worse, not only for the people who live there, because it'll drive them out of there, forcing them to sell their properties to either the city, the county. Next thing you know, more buildings. Guys, you gotta look beyond it. You gotta look beyond just a 4-lane road traffic issue. You gotta look beyond it. And the children's lives matter a lot. So let me know what you think. Drop a like, drop a comment. Subscribe. Definitely stay tuned because your voice matters, and it doesn't matter if you don't use it. So I encourage all of the youth to advocate for themselves, what they think, their beliefs, their philosophy, and the city that they live in, because what's the point of a mouth if you don't use it? What's the point pause. What's the point of a voice if you're not voicing? You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. So, and a lot of the youth, I will say, you know who you are. And you know who you are. You want to complain and complain, but you don't want to do anything of it. You want to complain and complain. They're taking my farmland. They're taking the cows away from outdoor, all the orange groves. But you don't want to do your research to find out what's really happening. It's not the city. I mean, their lack of attention and understanding of negotiations is pretty much at fault. But it's not just the city, it's the county. So you're yelling at the wrong people. And then some other people DMing me, dude, they're never gonna do anything, bro. Dude, they ain't gonna fix it, bro. Well, first of all, I don't think if you choose not to advocate, not to be a part, not to do your research, not to speak to the council, I don't think you have any right to complain. Why? Because you're an NPC. You're an NPC. You shouldn't be complaining. If you want to complain, do something about it. Until then, I don't want to hear it. That's me personally. to every single citizen in Mount Dora and in Lake County as a whole, you should advocate for what you want to see done with the county and the city in its future. You're the future. Quite literally, not trying to sound cringy or nothing. You're the future. Start acting like it. That's me. I am acting like it. But nobody else is around. Now, they say it's lonely at the top, but I'm nowhere near it. So there's no excuses for the youth to be sitting down. Everyone should be standing up, going to the council meetings, voicing their concerns, voicing their opinions, and running for these positions. You want to see change, be the change. Don't expect other people to see change. Because guess what? There's only one of you in this world. God created one of you. So if you have these ideas, you have these visions, dreams, aspirations, goals, if you have all this experience, this mindset, do something with it. Or you're telling God, you've given me this gift and I am doing nothing with it. It is useless. Imagine telling God that the gift that you've given me is useless. Unbelievable. So, I hope you like this video. Again, like, subscribe, comment. Love your comments, especially if it's backlash. And I will see you in the next video because there's another video that I need to film. What is it about? The county. You're going to like that one. That one's crazy. So, watch out for that. Until then, I will see you on the next one. God bless everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.